Zombies, the bloodthirsty undead. When they arrive, will you survive? Zombie go boom. Kick undead ass.
Hey, what's up, survivors? Welcome to another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom. And that's right, we will be testing the Wolverine claws in honor of Logan, which is out right now. And I don't exactly look like Wolverine right now. I look more like Vega from Street Fighter because, you know, claws don't actually come out of my fist. So we got Matthew Dawes to make this. He made the blades. He made the gauntlet structure that keeps it there. And we added fiber fix to the bar in order to keep it from bending. Now, I will be doing the testing today, but that is solely because the gauntlet, it's too freaking small for Charles's gigantic fists. It fits me a little on the tight side, but I think it's gonna work. Only one way to find out, though. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
He's not gonna have to do anything today.
I'm like on vacation.
He's my hype man today.
Yeah. Woo! I'm the hype man all the time. What are you talking about?
Let's get started. So I know the first thing you guys want to see is a stab to the face, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Also, special shout out to Matthew Dawes. Check out his channel. He makes a lot of weapons like these. Link in the description below. If you're a person, this could be a kill shot. You could bleed out, you could die of shock, but
You're definitely blind.
You're definitely blind.
Yeah.
Well, both eyes. But as a zombie, you're still totally cool. I mean, you're on the ground because, you know, you were pushed to the ground, at which point I could just finish you off with a couple of stomps to the head. And that stab also folded the tip on the middle blade. But
What's the next strike?
I'm gonna slash to the temporal bone, see what happens. Now, like I said, I would like to hit the temporal bone, but these claws are so incredibly huge that I might just start here around the occipital parietal area and then just rake my way down the side of the face and see what that does. Now, after talking about this with Charles, I'm not gonna do a haymaker because I have a chance of hyperextending myself, which could injure me, and also the blades have a bigger chance of just going back into there if they happen to break off. So I'm gonna keep my arm more at like 45 degrees, 90, around there, and then I'm just gonna come in like that, and most of the actual strike force is gonna come from my hips. As you can see, my arms are barely moving. Hopefully that's enough to do it. Okay. Oh wow, look,
A little bit of blood there?
got blood on this one right here. There we go.
Yeah, you can see the blood coming out there. I don't see any blood coming out here. Got into the skull a little bit down here behind the ear, but no blood. And obviously that's the cheekbone, so there wouldn't be any blood coming out there really. I guess the one right above the temporal bone is the only one that drew blood, so I think he's probably still standing if he's a zombie. If he's a person, he's on the ground in pain, but slow death.
Yeah, so another thing to mention, this didn't bend because of the fiber fix. Like I said, when we first tried it, it bent right in the middle, but because of all that force, it actually bent here around where the mild steel is welded onto this part of the gauntlet. So you see that? We have to bend it back now. There. All right, we're ready for another one. So one of the things that Wolverine likes to do is stab people with an uppercut, and you've even seen the blades come out through the parietal bone at the top. So That's pretty unlikely. Maybe it's more likely if you're like as buff as Wolverine and you have adamantium claws that are actually a part of your being. So I think he has a leg up on me, but still I'm gonna try it and see what I can do. It looks ridiculous. Alright, so I take the blade out. That went about 3 inches in, got stopped by the bottom of the skull. There's no way you're gonna get a kill strike from that. I mean, if it's a person, yes, that's a kill strike. But as a zombie, or in the way that you see it in the movies where the claws stick out, that probably wouldn't happen. Except for a few things. Adamantium and a mutant with lots of strength. So, I don't know. Maybe we're not being fair to Wolverine. Maybe he can do it. But just with steel, regular steel, not so much. Downward strike to the parietal bone. Wish me luck. Broke some bone there. Cut a serious amount of flesh and bone here.
No blood though.
Cut a serious amount of flesh and bone here. But yeah, none of it got in. So, and look. Here I am bending metal. So I'm gonna fix this, and then I'm gonna try stabbing the temporal bone just to see if another stab would work. And another thing I forgot to mention with the uppercut is it might actually be better if Tim were to weigh as much as a human person, but you are fighting gravity at the beginning of that strike. Though after you get in, if a person weighs, I don't know, 180, 190, or even a little bit less, their weight would still be able to push down on the blade. Maybe we would get some better results. Tim here probably weighs more like 70, 80 pounds. So we might try to fix that. Let us know if you want us to. Section below. Now for this strike, because I really want to get a zombie kill, I'm not going to hit with the middle one or the one toward the edge. I'm going to try to hit with this one, the one closest to me, right, the temporal bone, so that I'm putting all of that kinetic energy into one of the blades as opposed to the other two. We're finding that we are getting some of the same results as we did with the pitchfork. If you have more blades, more tines, or more spikes, it actually dissipates the energy across all of those instruments as opposed to concentrating it on one simple point. It's kind of like those people that lay down on the beds made of nails. The more nails there are on the bed, the better it is for the person laying on it. There it is. There it is. Exactly what I wanted.
Nice.
Pretty stuck. We got about 2 inches in. It broke the temporal bone and part of the orbital bone, but the problem is that it actually went into the orbit. It's almost as if I stabbed the eye from this part of the skull. So yes, if I use one of the claws, I stab in farther, but I have to be so far forward that I actually end up stabbing through the orbit as opposed to into the cranial cavity, if that makes any sense at all. So the only way to actually get a kill through the temple would be to go through the middle spike, but if I do that, then I have 2 of the claws trying to penetrate this hard bone, and that's probably not gonna work because it won't get as much penetration, but let's try it anyway. All right, so this time I'm gonna do the same thing, except I'm gonna do a Superman punch, and I don't care about what claw hits where. I'm just trying to be as powerful as possible toward the temporal bone area. Oh my
you got
god.
blood. Wow.
Okay, so you see that this slash is bleeding. This slash is actually not bleeding. What's bleeding is the stab here, because this stab got into the cranial cavity and the blood started to hemorrhage under the skin and it came out through here. So it might seem like this one all of a sudden started bleeding even though it didn't before, but it didn't. All of that damage is right here. The stab right in the middle here also got into the cranial cavity. So basically I got both of these in here, and then this third one got into the cheek. So what ended up happening is this one had no resistance because it just got through flesh, and then that made it so that these two had a lot of force behind them when they got into these two parts of the cranial cavity. So this would also be a kill. Now, the blade seemed to be okay. I guess it's time for a berserker mode, and then a decapitation. We can call it quits.
Dang. Wow. That is definitely a kill.
Wow.
Dude.
Charles gave me some beautiful advice, and it was not to extend until I was coming down. So I waited to extend my arm as I was coming down, and then that's what it caused, because it was the gravity plus the shifting of my body. That was excellent advice. Alright, time for a decapitation, but before I get to that, I wanted to show you what these things can do to fleshy targets.
Whoa.
Tim's neck bone 1, claw 0. Same thing. Yeah, it hurt. It gets worse every time. Look at that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna break my wrist. Alright, there's no way we're gonna get a decapitation with this. So, I'm gonna do the strike we did at the beginning, now that I'm a little bit more comfortable with the weapon, and that is trying to get through the eyeballs, and I'm gonna do a Superman punch again, and I guess we'll end it there. Shit.
Yep. Whoa.
Ah! Go ahead. Did we get blood? God damn it, no. Oh man, still didn't get in the brain, but look at that. That's insane. Well, we messed him up and we got a couple of confirmed kills, one-hit kills a couple of times, so that's why this does get the Zombie Go Boom seal of approval. However, it does not get the Zombie Go Boom Overkill seal of destruction. They're just a lot of weapons that do a lot better, partly due to the design, partly due to the implementation of the design, and partly due to the fact that I'm not Wolverine. But I'm trying here. With another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom, I'm Chuck Beret.
I'm Charles Foltz.
And we will see you next time.